athletes have worked hard all year, and they just want to finish as high as possible.
Right.
And there's something about the last race, for the season. This is it, so they're laying it on the line. Right now, it looks like we've already started the women's U17 4 with coxswains with St. Andrews in lane 0, Austin Rowing Club in lane 1, Port Rowing in lane 2, NorCal in lane 3, DC National Rowing Club in lane 4, Indianapolis Rowing Club in lane 5, Row New Jersey in lane 6, and Blair Academy Crew in lane 7. So we have 8 boats in this race.
8 boats blazing down the course. Something I really love looking for is this is a tight racing in these young categories. Again, as a reminder, everyone who's a U17 is under the age of 17, so they may be 16, 15 in their first year or so of rowing. Look to be Zat Port Rowing out there in front, and then Austin, St. Andrews, then after that, NorCal, DC, almost straight Indianapolis Rowing Club, but then Blair kind of out in front of Row, New Jersey.
Yeah, and right now you can see there's a little bit of some tiers forming here out in front. Austin looks like they're pushing ahead a little bit, but they're contested very closely by Port Rowing and St. Andrews. So can they continue to maintain that lead? Port Rowing falling off the pace just a little bit, but still well within striking distance. Right now it looks like NorCal may be trying to edge up just a little bit as well. And then we have DC National, followed by Indianapolis, followed by Blair, and then Row, New Jersey. So this race is starting to pick up as we get into that second 500.
Yeah, it was kind of hard from that side shot to even know who was on that far side. We've got 8 lanes of racing here, which is a great way to wrap up these athletes' season here. This is the C final of the women's U17 Cox 4. Current leaders being Austin, and then looking for a battle for second between the darker shell of St. Andrews going blow for blow with Port Rowing. Seeing that charge there by NorCal. You were calling it singing, I think there's something happening there. Everyone next to the left of them is holding on to what NorCal is doing.
Yeah, and NorCal really the linchpin right now between these two tiers. And if they can maintain their speed or go faster, maybe those crews will come with them. And so the question is right now, as we get deeper into this race, what's going to happen as Austin Rowing Club continues its lead, maybe stretching out another couple of seats there to really put the pressure on Port Rowing and St. Andrews.
Yeah, here we come into that halfway point in the race, and currently we are looking at our leaders of Austin, but then it looks to be St. Andrews just a hair ahead of Port Rowing, then NorCal Crew, DC National, Indianapolis, Blair, and Row, New Jersey. Row, New Jersey actually has switched positions with Blair. Blair had a little bit of an edge on Row, New Jersey crossing the 500, but Row, New Jersey answered the call and is overtaken.
Yeah, and right now you can see Austin still, trying to get a little bit, maybe open up some water, making it a little bit more comfortable for them. But right now, Port Rowing and St. Andrews applying pressure, and they're pretty much going stroke for stroke right now. You can see them battling as they go through these buoys, is a real clear indicator. And now you can see right there, NorCal is still that linchpin between these tiers right now. And so that battle for second place could change dynamically within this third 500, and we'll see how that shapes up. Now, right now, DC National and Indianapolis are going stroke for stroke, and the question is, DC National has a little bit of a lead. Can they extend that? Can they use NorCal as a foil to maybe move up a little bit more?
Yeah, I kind of use some of that drag factor of just holding on, getting a little bit of free speed. Something that I know about Coxed 4s is that I think this is the point in the race where the coxswain really shines. Each athlete really has an impact on this smaller boat. So you only got 2 on port, 2 on starboard, and when one person decides to go, you can literally feel it. So when it's a coxswain's thrown into this mix, they can kind of feel and fuel the team with saying, okay, stroke seat, do this, and then they set an impulse that everyone can then follow in with. Or perhaps they've assigned ahead of time, or they know that they can do what they pass down a call in the crew saying, okay, stroke seat lead, 3 seat do this, 2 two-seat, bow seat, and then that motivates everybody to kind of add a little bit more energy into every stroke and just snowball it into the course.
Yeah, and that's definitely important coming into this last 500. Can you push that snowball down the hill, add some momentum? I like to think of this 500 as actually going downhill, and the grade of the downhill part has just picked up a little bit. Can you add a little bit more acceleration to that snowball? Can you add a little bit more speed to your boat?
Absolutely. You're talking about in the previous race of coming apart at the seams. I like the idea of the going downhill analogy, because you want to, it's like a bike, you want to be able to stay upright and on two wheels, but it's a little bit of just kind of trusting the fall, trusting how deep can you go with your athletes or with your teammates. So looking at Austin here, great overhead shot of this current first place position. They are just nailing it down the course. So as we checked in for the last 1,500 meters, they were getting a little bit of open water over the pack, kind of upsetting their seed out of the time trial. None of these crews have raced side by side before, so it's really interesting to see them turn on that competitive racing instinct here at this C final of the women's U17 Coxed 4. They are vying for that 17th place in the country.
Yeah, one of the things I like to say about the time trials is maybe something happened, maybe something changed, maybe they weren't able to execute their plan according to the way they wanted to. So right now is their opportunity to say, this is where we should be. Let's be as fast as possible, because a lot of times what you'll see out of these C finals is you'll compare your time to the B final, to the A final, and you'll say, it gives you a little bit of fire for the next year. But right now in this race, we have a race going on. We have NorCal making a push on to Port Rowing, and we have, looks like St. Andrews is in second place right now, but they're being pressed hard by NorCal. And so here we go. We have DC National making a move, and so as we come into this last 250 with about 10 strokes left for that Austin crew, what's going to happen? These other boats, this is it right here. The race for second place is on. What's going to happen? We have St. Andrews over in lane 0. They are moving fast, and now here we go. Can anything be done by this Port Rowing crew to hold off that move by NorCal? And now DC National is making a move, and we have St. Andrews through, followed by Port Rowing, followed by NorCal, followed by DC National. What a tight, amazing race. Now coming through the line, we have Indianapolis, Row, New Jersey, and wow, what a finish there for that second spot in this final.
Absolutely.
I am exhausted.